What's your opinion on Friedman's mRNA vaccine development? So,
Herpes could never. Herpes could never break me, could never again make me feel less of. Herpes can't take my sexy away from me. Herpes does not take my worth away. Herpes does not devalue me. Herpes can...
it sounds like it has potential. I don't know if mRNA vaccine technology is going to do anything. The problem is that vaccine is not a replicant. To give you a quick example of that, so when you got inoculated for measles, mumps, and rubella, that is a live viral vaccine that most people on the planet have, that you got as an infant. And if you were to go to the doctor and get tested for titers, measles, mumps, and rubella antibodies would show up on that test because they're replicating. It's a memory thing, part of your immune system. It's a constant, your body constantly makes those antibodies so that when you are exposed, you don't get sick. Vaccines like the mRNA do not do that. So I'm not really sure what their platform is going to be or what engineering that they're going to use. They're also coming up with meganuclease gene splicing that they've been talking about. There's a lot of talk about CRISPR and what Dr. Jerome is doing, and with meganuclease gene splicing. And the best way I could describe it is, it's for the moment, it's a little bit of science fiction. I don't think they're going to pull it off, but I would like to be wrong about that. You know, to be able to have a technology to enter your body and get rid of most of the virus is very interesting to me. But the problem is that if you leave any virus behind, you still have herpes. Even if it's 10%. That 10% can still reemerge and reproduce and still do the same thing. So I'm not sure where they're going to go with it. CRISPR, as far as CRISPR technology is concerned, think of gene splicing on a level like giant pair of shears. And meganuclease gene splicing is like little tiny scissors. So two very different technologies, but they're very similar. They plan on doing human testing, which is a little scary because that type of technology, if it is not done correctly, can splice the DNA of other parts of your body, which is like, holy shit, that is not good. So they have to deal with a lot of science and they have to deal with a lot of safety. So I don't know, fingers crossed for them. You know, maybe it'll work or maybe they'll learn something new. Science always tends to show us, even if it fails, it tends to show us something, you know. As far as RVX is concerned, rational vaccines, they are in the middle of getting approval to do testing on the immunotherapeutic vaccine, the one I received in 2016 in London, by the beginning of next year, which is really cool. And here's why. And this ties into the petition that Shane is asking everyone to sign. The really cool thing about this is that the UK has a different type of medical overseeing board. The United States has the FDA. The UK is much different. They're not as strict as the FDA. So with safety and efficacy being proven and it working on people, they may have it available to people who are suffering from herpes in about 3 years, which is freaking amazing. So the same shot that I...
Sign the petition, y'all. Link in my bio. Just want to enter that in. If you're on the live, I have 55 people on the live on my end. The questions that you see, I don't see. But the questions I see, you don't see. So you still have like a separate live. TikTok is weird like that.
That is very strange because the last time we did a live, it was like everything.
It was
you know
joint.
what? Yeah.
Now it's separate.
Okay.
Yeah. So
do you have anything on your end?
It was just a lot of conversation between people. Someone was like, it sounds like HIV is a little bit better, and then a little bit of back and forth about that. I feel like they have HIV in more it's in control now. HIV. If someone goes undetectable, then it's been proven that they cannot pass the virus.
Yeah.
Um, it's not as big, it's not this big scary thing as it used to be when HIV was first coming out and we was witnessing people going through
Yeah.
AIDS and deteriorating. Now they kind of have it together. So, um,
Well, I think that comparison gives people some sort of false idea. And maybe not false idea. Maybe it's just it kind of gives us a different perspective. But what people don't realize is that HIV is new. It's a very new zoonotic virus that just came out since the 40s. You know, it was because tribes in Africa were hunting bushmeat from chimpanzees, and the HIV virus is a derivative of a chimpanzee immunodeficiency virus that was passed on to humans. So the virus has only been around since the 40s and 50s, and the first documented case in the United States didn't happen until the 80s. So when you compare that and looking, that's an RNA virus, which is much different from a herpes DNA virus. And herpes virus is millions of years old. And we're talking about two very different viruses, but I think people get kind of upset. They're like, well, how come HIV has solutions but herpes doesn't? And I get it. Like, it does kind of sound like it's something that's annoying, but when you look at the data, you know, HIV is a much different virus than herpes. If herpes did not get into the nervous system, we wouldn't even be talking about it. People would see like a little bump and it would go away and they'd never see it again. And it wouldn't live in their bodies. It all has to do with this virus living inside of you, which really sucks. But, you know,
yeah, life.
and HIV is a little different now. It's I know some people who have it and they take the pill and they're fine. It's crazy.
Yeah. We also had someone talk